Good morning, everyone. Behind me here is a road that goes up into the mountains over here. This road is called the Chief Joseph Scenic Byway. I'm in northwestern Wyoming, kind of near Yellowstone. And a couple of years ago I did a road, I drove a road called the Beartooth Highway. There's a very famous road that kind of runs along the border between Wyoming and Montana. And a lot of you guys said in the comments that I should do the Chief Joseph Byway. This is kind of a fork off of that road. This right here is the start of the Chief Joseph Byway. It goes off in this direction and meets up with the Beartooth Highway in several miles. I don't know exactly how many miles. I'll put that on the screen, exactly how long this road is. But this is a paved road, a paved highway. There are some dirt, some gravel roads that go off in various directions from here, and we will be exploring some of those today. And our first stop on the road is about 10 miles up the mountain here, and that's a few thousand vertical feet. This road gains quite a bit of elevation, and it goes to a pass that's about at 8,000 or a little bit above 8,000 feet. Right now I think I'm at like 4,500 or 4,600 feet. And so this road doesn't go quite as high as the Beartooth Highway, which tops out at, I think, 10 or 12,000 feet. It's quite high, but this should be equally scenic. And that previous video that I made, the Beartooth Highway video, I called it something like, "Is this really the best road in America?" Because I saw several articles that said that. But then you guys said that this road is actually better, so I don't know, we'll see. Maybe this is actually the best mountain drive in America. Only one way to find out. We made it to the top. The drive here only took about 15 minutes from the bottom. Again, it was like 10, 15 miles and it took about 15 minutes to do this drive. And this is, I don't know if I already said this is the highest point of the drive. It's called Dead Indian Summit. And I'll tell you a little bit more about why it's called that in a minute, but I want to show you this really incredible view first. There's a big parking area and this little viewing platform. And here is the view. Look at this odd or oddly flat little mountain. It's just a squat, flat little thing. A little mesa out there. You can see some snowy peaks off in the distance. And then more craggy, rugged summits over this way, and more snow over here. This must have been an early season snowstorm. I'm here in about mid-October, a little bit before the middle of October, and this road is usually closed by the middle of October, and so I'm really just kind of sneaking this in right under the wire. Awesome views. So I think the road goes down into the valley here and then back up. This is where the Beartooth Highway is. The Beartooth Highway is, at least when I checked a couple days ago, is closed for the season already. And I'm just being hounded by chipmunks. Like there's a pack of them. Look at this. They're coming like right up to me. No, I do not have food for you. I'm sorry. I mean, really, these guys are rabid. Well, I hope they're not. Figuratively, they're rabid. I hope they're not literally rabid. But anyway, this sign here talks about the Nez Perce War and their retreat over the mountains. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about this in a second. And then over here, we have a spot called Sunlight Basin. And that is a spot that I think we're going to be exploring a little bit later on in today's video. So there is a side road, a dirt road that goes off in this direction and gets deeper into these mountains over here. But for now, we're gonna go for a hike. and you can't really see where we're going. So let me drive back a little bit. There's a dirt road over this way. Let's go check that out. And sorry my windshield is so gross. I've been driving for a couple days and have the carnage of a lot of bugs on my window. But just back up the road here, there's a little gravel pullout and a dirt road. I don't know how high up I can drive on that dirt road. I'm in the RAV4 on this trip. Gonna wait for this car to go by. And the RAV4 is not, I mean, it does okay on, well, it does great on gravel roads, but you know, once things get a little bit more steep and rutted and rocky, that's when we start to pause. But there is a dirt road that goes up this mountain, up this very rocky little road so far. Great views off to the left. This road leads most of the way up to the top of this. Let me stop here for a second. This road goes most of the way up to this hill right here, this little mountain, and I wanted to hike up this mountain. There are some towers and antennas near the top up there. That's where we're headed. The road goes most of the way up there, but I think I'm gonna probably stop pretty soon here and hike the rest of the way. Oh, actually, it looks like there's a gate. So even if I were in the Land Cruiser, I wouldn't be able to go much further than this. Okay, nice little parking area with great views. Sorry again for the bug splatter on the windows, but you can see that view that I had from the parking area that's just right down there. I only realized after I had parked that this gate isn't locked. It's secured, it's closed, but it's not locked. And so I could have driven more up this road, but again, the RAV4, while potentially capable, it could potentially do this. You know, it doesn't have high clearance, and I don't know what the road is like. Plus, it's just a beautiful morning. It's like in the low 50s right now, and there's no wind. It's sunny. It is just a beautiful, beautiful morning here in the mountains. I'm past most or all of that radio communications equipment behind me, and that stuff isn't on the summit of the little hill here of the mountain. It's kind of on the shoulder. So let me show you what I have ahead of me still. I think the rest of the way to the top is just this little kind of rocky field here, and the top, I don't know if this is the top. This might be a little false summit, but the real summit can't be too far beyond that. I'm pretty close now. I think this little rock here, this looks like the top, looks like the summit. Huh. Well, this could be the top, but so could this little rock outcropping. But I just spotted something else that leads me to believe that this is the actual summit. This is a USGS geological survey. This is a benchmark from 1947. It says elevation 8,673 feet. And the vast majority of the time, these markers are on the actual summit of the mountain. And so I think we can call it good. This is a success. And over here, we have some really impressive mountains. These are the Absaroka Mountains, another one of the great mountain ranges of this area. And this mountain right here is the highest in the mountain range, or at least in the northern Absarokas. It's called Trout Peak, elevation 2,000 or 12,200 something. Just spectacular and rugged country. And then we traverse over in this direction. We're looking toward Yellowstone now. This is toward the west. And this mountain is one that I've looked at for years and I've wanted to climb for a long time. That's called Pilot Peak. A lot of people confuse this one with the Beartooth, but this is actually called Pilot Peak. Today we're going to drive down off of the pass, off of Dead Indian Pass, and kind of switch back our way down to, let's see, over here. And you can see a bridge. We're going to stop at that bridge. That is the highest bridge in Wyoming, right there. And we're going to continue going kind of in a west or northwestern direction over to where we're going to meet up with the Beartooth Highway somewhere over here. Amazing country. And again, as I've recently mentioned in another video when I was in Colorado, all of this would be green earlier in the season. Earlier in the summer, this would all be green. But in the fall, it's all brown, but it's still all beautiful. I can't believe how perfect the weather is up here. It is just phenomenal. It's warm, it's not windy, which is a rarity in my videos and in the places that I visit. I think this is a little bit of an Indian summer situation that we have here, and I'm grateful for that. And speaking of Indians, as a segue here, you might remember again that the pass down there is called Dead Indian Pass. This little mountain that I'm on is called Dead Indian Hill. And again, the highway out here is called the Chief Joseph Byway. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about why. And this is a short version. If you want to learn more, I'll put links in the description down below. But basically, Chief Joseph was the leader of the Nez Perce, which was a Native American tribe that lived in northeastern Oregon. And this was in the late 1800s, the late 1870s. I believe the date is 1877 to be exact. The US government wanted to put them on a reservation. So they were still just living their life as they had been for, thousands of years. They were still not on reservations at that time, and the US government wanted to put them on a reservation, but they didn't want to be put on a reservation, and so the government basically hunted them down. They wanted to capture them, but the leader of the Nez Perce was a guy named Chief Joseph, and that's why this is called the Chief Joseph Highway. He brought his people, who numbered in the low thousands. I think it was a couple thousand, along with several hundred horses. They came up this pass, and they came through this area trying to lead, trying to outrun, trying to outmaneuver, trying to hide from the US government. They were making their way toward Montana, where they wanted to get asylum. Previously, the Lakota under, it wasn't Crazy Horse, was it? Let me check my notes here. It was Sitting Bull. The Lakota under Sitting Bull had fled into Canada to avoid being put on reservations, and Chief Joseph wanted to take his Nez Perce people up to Canada to do the same thing. And so they led the government through this area, and they almost made it to Canada. They were in Montana. They were about 40 miles from Canada when the US government caught up with them, and they were eventually put onto a reservation in Washington. And so that is that story, and that's why there's a lot of history in this area. And that's just one other aspect of this area, of this road, of this drive. Apart from being just a spectacular area and a spectacular drive, really fun drive, this place does have history to it. And as you know, I love being in beautiful places, but if they have some history to go along with it, so much the better. And by the way, it took me about 40 minutes to get to the top back there, and it was about 1.25 miles distance-wise, with about 500 vertical feet of elevation gain. And I'm headed back to the car now. From there, from the pass, I'm gonna continue to follow that paved road down the other side of the pass, as it makes about, I think, 10 switchbacks down to the bridge over there. So I'll meet back up with you guys over there at the bridge. Well, this is a spectacular bridge in a just spectacular spot. I mean, that is just straight down sheer cliffs on both sides. To get a sense of scale, you can see the car right there. Got a couple of cars over there in the parking area. Wow. This is the highest bridge in Wyoming as far as height above the canyon below goes. And then this is looking in the other direction. This is called Sunlight Bridge. And if you remember earlier, I mentioned Sunlight Park, I think it's called, or Sunlight Basin. That's over in this direction. And the weather is starting to turn a little bit in the distance. I think that weather is coming this way, so I'm gonna hop back into the car and keep driving up the road up to where the Chief Joseph Byway meets the Beartooth Highway on that high plateau up there. What a beautiful thing, what an amazing natural wonder that mountain is. That is a closer look at Pilot Peak. We've been driving toward it, and I just wanted to show you guys a really zoomed in view of that mountain. And I've reached the point where the Chief Joseph Byway that I've been driving meets up with the Beartooth Highway that is closed right now. So let me show that to you. So I came over from this direction. You can see a car on the road heading this way now. This is the way I came from over here. And this is where that road, the Chief Joseph Byway right here, meets the Beartooth Highway right here. But there's a big sign, barrier thing saying road closed on the Beartooth Highway. But we already knew that. So if we turn around, we have that amazing view of Pilot Peak. I have to climb that. If you are watching this and you are an accomplished kind of adventure technical rock climber, send me an email. Go to suvrving.com and fill out the contact form there. I really want to climb this thing next year, so shoot me an email. Maybe we can work something out. I think it's a 5.6 and a pretty terrible rock. But man, what an iconic piece of nature right there. I think from here the plan is to turn left onto the western end of the Beartooth Highway, the side that's open. So this road eventually goes into Yellowstone. It goes to a place called Cook City and then into the northeast corner of Yellowstone National Park in the Lamar Valley area. We're not going to go into the park today. I am, however, going to go in this direction. There's a waterfall. I have a waterfall marked on my map from the last time I was here, I think, and I can't remember if I went and saw this waterfall in my previous visit when I did drive the Beartooth Highway a couple of years ago. So we're gonna go see that waterfall. Let's go drive I think it's just like a few miles up the road, if that, to the parking spot for the waterfall. Here we are at the trailhead. There's no one else here. There's a little parking area. And it's just a short little path to the falls. I think I can even hear the waterfall from here. Here we go, literally 1 minute from the trailhead. I think this is the waterfall. That's beautiful, flowing over the exposed rock like that. Let's see if we can get a closer look. Not a huge waterfall, but really, really pretty. And then over behind me, part of the creek flows over some of these other exposed slabs too. Unbelievable. It really doesn't get much better than this. Okay guys, we still have some daylight left today, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go back to the area around the bridge, and I'm gonna take a dirt road that goes off from there called the Sunlight Basin Road, and I think I pointed out that area, Sunlight Basin, to you. The road that goes through there is like 10 or 15 miles of gravel, and it kind of follows the river. And so I've never been over there before, and I want to go check it out, and I think that's where I'm gonna go find a campsite tonight. But I don't know, I'll update you guys once I've either found a campsite or been turned around by a rock slide or whatever we happen to run into. Guys, this campsite is absolutely unreal. This area is just incredible. And there's even a rainbow. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a rainbow right in the middle there. It's faded a little bit since I first saw it, but man. And then look at this mountain right here across the creek, across the river here. Look at that thing. Crazy, crazy beautiful spot. I could just sit here, just stand here and stare at this for a week. Wow. And who needs a chair when you've got a nice rock to sit on? Man, what a great day. So the question is the Chief Joseph Byway better than the Beartooth Highway? Oh, that is a tricky one. I don't know. It's a toss-up, really. They're both really, really beautiful. The Beartooth Highway is a little bit longer and takes in more scenery, so it might go to the Beartooth Highway, but if you combine the Beartooth, like if you start in Montana, go up the Beartooth Highway, and then down the Chief Joseph Byway, that would be an incredible drive. And then end up here, I mean, that's some of the best driving you can do in America, I think. Whether or not either one of those roads is the single best mountain road in America, I don't know. They're up there. They've got to be in the top 10. The plan is to spend the night here, obviously, and then tomorrow I'm going to spend the entire day fishing, so I'm really looking forward to that. And there's one thing that I forgot to mention earlier today. I kind of started talking about it, but I didn't really finish it. So Dead Indian Pass, or the Dead Indian Summit and Dead Indian Hill and everything, those are named after one of the Nez Perce warriors. So when Chief Joseph and his tribe were going through that area, one of their guys was wounded and they had to leave him behind. Then he was then killed by the US Army troops who found him soon after that. So just wanted to kind of wrap up that story there. But on a happier note, again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of this beautiful Western Wyoming, Northwestern Wyoming scenery. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.